The cancer patient artist can foresee the future. One day something unusual happened. It was a bustling afternoon in the heart of the city. Cars honked, people rushed by, and street vendors called out to passers-by. Amidst all this chaos stood Sophie Carter, a young artist with paint-streaked hands and hope in her eyes. She was not just selling art, she was fighting for her life. Sophie had been diagnosed with cancer 6 months ago. Her treatments were working, but they came at an astronomical cost. With no insurance and mounting bills, she decided to take matters into her own hands. Armed with canvases painted late at night during sleepless hours, she set up a small stand on the sidewalk. A handwritten sign reads "Art for Cancer Treatment." But here's the twist, you see, Sophie did not tell anyone that these paintings were not entirely hers. Each piece carried fragments of someone else's story, stories she claimed to have dreamed about. Some whispered it was intuition, others thought it was sheer coincidence. But every painting seemed eerily personal to those who bought them. One day, a woman stopped at her stand. She stared at a vibrant painting of a lighthouse surrounded by stormy seas. Tears welled up in her eyes as she said, This is my childhood home. My father used to take me there before he passed away." Sophie smiled softly. "I am glad you found it," she replied cryptically. Word began to spread. People started lining up not just to buy art but to uncover secrets hidden within the brush strokes. One man bought a portrait of a dog that looked exactly like his long-lost pet. Another discovered a painting of a park bench where he proposed to his wife decades ago. It was uncanny, almost supernatural. Yet Sophie never explained how she knew these details. She simply said, "The universe speaks through colors." Then came him. A tall figure in a cowboy hat approached her stand one sunny afternoon. He moved slowly, deliberately, examining each painting with sharp, calculating eyes. When he reached a black and white depiction of a desert scene, a lone cowboy silhouetted against a vast horizon, he paused. "That's interesting," he muttered, more to himself than to Sophie. Curiosity piqued, Sophie asked, "Do you recognize it?" The man hesitated, then nodded faintly. "It's from a movie I directed years ago. Unforgiven." Now, here's where things get strange. This was not just any fan spotting a reference, it was Clint Eastwood himself. And yet, something about his demeanor felt off. Clint leaned closer, studying the painting intently. "How did you know about this? Did someone tell you?" "No," Sophie said honestly. "I have never seen your films. These images come to me in dreams." For a moment, Clint looked shaken. Then, without another word, he pulled out his checkbook and wrote her a check for $50,000. Sophie gasped. "Sir, I cannot accept this. That painting only costs $200. "It's not charity," Clint replied firmly. "Consider it payment for answers." "Answers? What answers?" Before Sophie could ask, Clint turned and disappeared into the crowd. Days turned into weeks. Sophie's story went viral online. News outlets covered her journey, and strangers flooded her inbox with messages of support. Donations poured in, enough to cover her medical expenses. But amidst the whirlwind of fame, Sophie couldn't shake the feeling that something bigger was at play. She began having vivid dreams again, only this time, they were not random scenes or memories. They were glimpses of the future. In one dream, she saw a car accident on a specific street corner. The next morning, while setting up her stand, she noticed a family walking toward that very spot. Without thinking, she shouted, warning them to cross the road. Moments later, a speeding truck screeched past, narrowly missing where they would be been standing. People called her a hero. Others whispered she had psychic abilities. But Sophie knew better. Something or someone was guiding her. And then, the final twist unfolded. One evening, as Sophie packed up her stand, a letter arrived in the mail. It bore no return address, only her name written in elegant cursive. Inside was a single sheet of paper with 3 words. "Thank you, Dad." Dad confused, Sophie flipped the page over. On the back was a photograph of Clint Eastwood holding a newborn baby. Beneath it, a note. "You saved me once, Sophie. Now it's my turn to save you. Keep painting. Keep dreaming. The world needs what only you can see." Suddenly, everything clicked. The mysterious familiarity in her paintings, the eerie accuracy of her dreams, even Clint's cryptic behavior, it all made sense now. Somehow, some way, Sophie was not just channeling the universe. She was connected to it in ways science couldn't explain. As the camera pans out, we see Sophie sitting alone at her easel, brushing strokes onto a blank canvas. Behind her, shadows flicker across the walls, not of people passing by, but of faces watching, waiting, grateful. Sometimes, the greatest mysteries lie not in what we create but in why we're chosen to create it. If you loved this mind-bending story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think Sophie's connection to the universe really is? Let us know, and stay tuned for more tales that will leave you questioning everything.